No, everybody's playing. No loans will be managed on our part.
What is your opinion of what that means?
I don't know either.
Steve, what do you get out of the visit from Tommy Smith yesterday?
It was fantastic, and he's here tonight. He and his wife Lois. We had a great visit. Fantastic conversation between the team and Tommy, and he even took part in our practice a little bit. He and Ron played against each other in high school, so I don't know if that story's made it out yet. But Ron told the story to our team yesterday. Ron started out the game. He got an and one against Tommy. He was feeling pretty good about himself, and at the end of the game, Ron had 3 points and Tommy had 36. So that's Ron's Tommy Smith story. But it was a great day.
He's going back to the All-Star game. He's not playing tonight, but what do you think is something that maybe is underappreciated about Marcus's game?
I think he's one of the toughest big men in the league to guard year after year. Because he's got the old school back to the basket game, you can put him on the block, but he can also step out, pick and pop, and shoot really well from the perimeter. He's always been a handful for us, and he's one of the best big men in the game. So I think he's been in that elite class, one of the best bigs in the game for a long time now, 6-8 years going back to Portland. So it's tough to handle.
Steve, you guys have had 3 full days between games. At this stage, is that a good thing, a bad thing, or is it really irrelevant?
I think it's a good thing right now for our team. We got a good day off, and then 2 days of practice, which we needed just to continue to incorporate DeMarcus and add some things. So you just don't get much practice time these days with the schedule. So this was a rare break, and I think we took advantage of it. Had a couple of good days of practice, and hopefully we'll be ready to play tonight.
Steve, I'm just curious to get your thoughts on this. With the kids, and I say kids, with all due respect, so much into the social media today. How do you work with young players today who are just constantly bombarded with all the stories about trade rumors? I know what the Lakers are going through right now is got to be agonizing. I know LeBron was talking about it yesterday. He was saying, "Stay off social media."
Right.
I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's we talk about it every year with our team. It's it's one of the big distractions that our players deal with, that everybody deals with in this league, and you have to be able to manage it and also to put it in perspective. That's kind of part of the deal. When you come into this league, you sign up for this, right? You paid a lot of money, you play basketball for a living, it's a dream life, but here are the things that aren't so great. You get hurt, you get cut, you get traded. People talk about possibly moving you, you get booed. And from when I played to now, there's a longer list because of social media, and so there's a lot of distraction out there. But I think as long as players are aware and have that perspective of what we sign up for, then it becomes more about managing it. But it's also about the teams trying to manage their own business as well, and we try to do the best we can, but it's very difficult to do that in this environment where it seems like every bit of news makes it out there.
Steve, kind of along those same lines, there's a counting game going on. It's been 9 days since Kevin has talked to the media, despite requests, and I'm just wondering, since that's kind of unusual, if you're seeing anything different with him, if it seems like he's carrying a burden around that might have to do with the off season, and how if it's affecting him in any other way besides with us.
I think all that stuff, again, is one of the things I talked about, that some of the things you have to deal with. We all have things that go on in our life that we just, sometimes you just want to curl up and most of us are allowed to do that, but not in the NBA. Kevin has been unbelievable with the media since he's been here. He's always accountable and here, so he just doesn't feel like talking right now. So we're functioning, as a team. We're doing our thing. We're playing. He's coming and competing and working at practice, and it's just you just give him some space, and he'll be back, I'm sure, back talking with you guys. And but right now, it's just not a great time for you to get any quotes from him. That's for sure.
Steve, Clay said this morning that part of why he's not doing the three-point contest, I mean, he's done it, years in a row, but he wants to watch the Currys go at it. And have you thought about how much this must mean to the family to have the All-Star game there and to kind of a family reunion?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the All-Star game usually has an unofficial host, and it's usually the All-Star player from that city. But this has the feel of the sort of the Curry family All-Star weekend because of Dell's impact with the Hornets for all those years. And so I love the fact that that the league has invited Steph and Seth. And Seth's had a great year. I think he's second in the league in percentage, if my numbers are right. So that'll be fun. And I think and Clay's got it right too. Sometimes this is his fifth straight year of the All-Star game. I think he's shot every year. It's kind of nerve-wracking. I shot that thing a few times, and it feels like a game. You're preparing and you're thinking about it all day. So I think it'll be nice for Clay just to sit this one out and go watch Steph and Seth and the rest of the guys and enjoy his evening.
Steve, what makes the step back three hard to defend? And also, I mean, I know we've talked to you about this, but when Steph starts hitting them and Harden is so good at it, do you think we'll continue to see more and more guys just try to let it fly?
It's a really hard shot. But if a guy is proficient with it like Steph or like Harden, it's the reason it's hard to defend is you have to honor the jab step and the dribble penetration. And the guys who are really good at that shot, they also have the ability to get to the rim and score. And you have to honor that first. And so if you do that defensively, you honor that, they step back behind the line and rise up, and now you try to challenge. Now the new NBA rule from the last few years comes into play, where after the release of the shot, if you run into the shooter at all, or if he steps on your foot, it's a foul. It didn't used to be a foul. So now you've got everything going against you if you're a defender, and so you got more and more shooters capable of shooting that step back. You got the rules kind of going against you. It's never been more difficult, I think, to guard three-point shooters than it is right now.
You looking to ramp up DeMarcus minutes at all, or you want to keep him around 25?
No, we'll try to keep it around the same, probably all the way through the All-Star break. We're still only not quite 3 weeks in. I think it's 2.5 weeks in, maybe 3. I think that All-Star break comes at a good time for him. It will be a good month of being fully incorporated back into the game, and I think at that point when we come back, we can start looking at maybe raising the minutes. But he's played the equivalent of of a training camp and some exhibition games, so he's still getting into his game condition.
See, this may be a tough one to answer, but I remember as a kid, when I was in high school, when the three-point shot became real popular, it was the ABA that started, and everybody said it was a joke. That was their way to kind of, get some attention. Do you think there's ever going to come a time where the NBA, most NBA teams are going to pull back from it? Because Popovich has mentioned his disdain for it. He's got so many good mid-range shooters that can shoot the three-pointer. But you think there's going to be some time in the near future, maybe teams that are just going to say, we're not going to do it that often because the percentages aren't high enough, or you think it's here to stay?
Well, I think the teams that are going to pull back are the ones who don't have a lot of three-point shooting on their team. I mean, as a coach, you just play to your strengths. And the fact is, every player out there now is shooting thousands of three-point shots all summer. And why wouldn't they? It's a marketable skill, and guys are getting paid to do it. And So I don't see anytime soon that the league is going to shift in terms of the trend. But, you know, the teams like the Spurs, like us, teams who have good mid-range shooters, those are still good shots. You know, anything that's a good shot, a good rhythm shot, I think you have to take those when they're there rather than bad 3-point shots. So finding that balance is important. Thanks a lot.
Great.